Hi everybody, it's Maida, and as promised, here is a time-lapse version of my recent live stream. So in this video, I am drawing Dream from a series of comics called The Sandman, written by Neil Gaiman and then produced by a number of different artists, comic book artists. Yeah, I like showing time-lapse versions of drawings because I know me personally, I can't sit through a 5-hour video if it's not a live stream. So I have the archives in case you do want to watch the real-time playback. But otherwise, here's this video for people for convenience and people who could be short on time. But yeah, so like I said in the live stream, this is a comic I was introduced to in a comic and graphic novel and manga class that I took in college at my university. And I think it's a really good story, and what I like most about it is that it's not like your typical superhero comic. I mean, he is a hero, kind of, but he's very grim looking. But he has a good heart, but he's just, I don't know. I mean, look at him. He's very gothic looking. But anyways, Dream is the Sandman. They call it the Sandman because that's the myth that he's based on. And he is, I guess, the king of dreams. I don't think they ever call him a king. I think he's referred to as the Dream Lord by some people, but he goes by a bunch of different names. But yeah, his character design is, I wouldn't say it's simple because a lot of thought went into it, but it's very monotone. He just has pale white skin and then all his clothes are black. And I didn't want him to be wearing pure black, so I actually paint everything in a dark blue. Eventually. Right now I'm still drawing the shoelaces. At least in this part. And then his eyes are very black. And the reason I drew him sitting like this, kind of in a, I would call it a melancholic pose. He's sitting there and he's shifting his finger in his sand, which puts people to sleep. And I don't know. One of the things about his character that I didn't mention is that even though he looks grim, he must have been a nice person because he's been in a relationship with at least 3 women, and they always failed. And so I like to think that's part of what makes him so grim looking. In one chapter they even state, "Oh guys, it's raining again in the dream world," or whatever he calls his kingdom. They're like, "Why? What happened?" And it's like, "Oh well, he was dumped again," or something. And it was something like that. And so I was like, wow, he's a drama queen, even though he doesn't look like one per se. So yeah. Like I said, that's why I drew him in this pose. I wanted him to look kind of sad, and debating his life, ugh, what am I doing wrong? Or something like that. What should I do with my life? Etc. kind of feelings. And this is new for me because I am using pure black for the shadows. I realized quickly that pure black doesn't really blend into the blue color very well, so I just used hard shading throughout all of it, which works out because that's just how it looks in the comic as well, in terms of how they use black as a shadow in comic books. So yeah, I'm just going through and filling black in wherever I think the shadows would be. I don't typically use a lot of references. I did use two for this one. Like I looked up his boots, and then I looked up the character Sandman or Dream. But anyway, I really like the series. A lot of it is kind of like a mix of different kind of short stories, since it's about the Dream Lords, so you get a lot of weird, like, mixing between reality and dreams in the book. And like I said, a lot of it is like short stories that are really interesting. And some of them are scary. Like there's a character in there that has mouths for eyes. So it shows that often it'll show teeth in those eye sockets just to make it look scarier. I think he's called the Corinthian. I haven't read much about his plot so far in the book, except for that he's basically an escaped dream or nightmare that haunts people in reality. He takes out their eyes and eats them because he's jealous that he doesn't have eyes, which is bizarre. And now I'm coloring his pocket of sand. Basically almost done with this. So this drawing took about 4.5 hours to complete from start to finish. He usually wears a collared cloak, but I don't really like that, his collared cloak. So I drew him with, like, well, the cloak that he has on right now. And then Visenia Design mentioned that he looked like Raven from Teen Titans, so for a while that's all I could see. And I see it, I can see it, especially with the his dream amulet thing. But oh well, I think it looks cool. Anyways, we're getting close to the end. I decided to use black for the background just to see what it looked like, and I liked how he blended. It looked like he was blending into the background with the shadow being pure black as well. And just to fill up space, I thought it'd look nice with a quote from the comic, and so I picked one about love, because as I mentioned at the beginning, he's pretty hopeless when it comes to his relationships. And then that about wraps it up. It just took me like 10 minutes to pick a font. Okay, everybody, so here is the final image. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you would like to see more from me, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to my channel so you can see new videos. And just a reminder, I will be doing these live streams once a week on Mondays. So, I will see you guys next time. Bye.